Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Winnebago County Board meeting. Tonight is Thursday, February 22nd, 2024. Tonight, our invocation and pledge allegiance is by Board Member Jaime Salgado. Please stand.
Dear Lord, I want to thank you for bringing us here tonight to conduct Winnebago County business. Lord, I ask that you grant us your wisdom, knowledge to make the best decisions for our constituents and citizens. Lord, I ask that you grant us your love and grace so we can spread it across the county and the world. Lord, I ask that you protect our troops as they defend our nation. Also, I ask that you protect our first responders. Grant us your grace and mercy. We ask all these things in your name. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Mr. Salgado. Mr. Thompson, is there any agenda announcements this evening?
No agenda announcements, Mr. Chairman, no changes to the agenda, but I would like to take this opportunity to introduce a staff member that has been recently promoted, Ashley Spohr, who is, I believe, sitting on the far end of staff row here. Ashley has been appointed the interim director of the Community Development Department. This was Chris Dornbush's former position, and Ashley has been appointed director on an interim basis, and she's hit the ground running. She's been in the new position now for a couple of weeks, doing a great job. So she'll be your point of contact for all issues, community development, planning, and zoning. So welcome, Ashley, in your new role, and we look forward to great things. You want to say hi?
Hello, thank you very much. I look forward to working with all of you in any questions or issues that you may have. Thank you.
All right, congratulations. Mr. Webster.
I don't have a microphone here. There we go. I too want to congratulate Ashley. It's been my pleasure to work with Ashley, with most of them on the fourth floor there. Known her all these years. I thank Chris Dornbush for being wise enough to hire Ashley about 10 years ago, something like that. So at any rate, she's done a good job up there all these years. She came by this job the old-fashioned way. She earned it. So I appreciate Ashley being there. I hope she stays with us for many more years. Thank you, Ashley.
All right, thank you, Mr. Webster. Okay, Clerk Gummow, can you please call the roll?
Certainly. Thank you, Chairman. We will start with Mr. Hoffman, Mr. Lindmark, Mr. McCarthy, Mr. McDonald, Mr. Neighbors,
Here.
Mr. Penny, Mr. Salgado, Mr. Scroll, Mr. Sweeney, Mr. Tassoni, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Webster, Mr. Arena, Mr. Booker, Mr. Butita, Mrs. Crosby, Ms. Fellers,
Present.
Mrs. Gorel,
Present.
Mr. Gravera, Ms. Hansard. Thank you all. Chairman, 18 board members present, 2 board members absent.
Very good. We do have a quorum this evening. So moving on our agenda, we have one public participation this evening. I believe is Ms. Teresa Hill present? Not present? Okay. So we'll just keep moving forward. All right, so under number 6, approval of minutes, may entertain a motion to approve the January 25th, 2024 minutes and lay over the February 8th, 2024 minutes. Motion by Mr. Thompson, second by Ms. Crosby. Is there any discussion on the approval or the layover of the minutes this evening? Very good. Are there any board members opposed to the approval or the layover? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Next is the consent agenda that includes the raffle report and the auditor's report. May I entertain a motion, please? Motion by Mr. Thompson, second by Mr. Guevara. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda this evening? Very good. Is there any board members that are opposed to the consent agenda? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Next, the appointments. There are no appointments to be read in this evening. Next is the reports of standing committees. The first committee is Mr. Butita, the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First item of business is a resolution authorizing the settlement of litigation Ponder versus County of Winnebago, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Butita. Is there a second? By Mr. Thompson. Is there any discussion this evening? Mr. Butita? Any discussion?
No, sir.
Nope. Board member discussion? Very good. Are there any board members opposed? We got two, Mr. Tassoni and Mr. Guevara. Any others? And Mr. Hoffman abstains? Is that correct? Okay, very good. Please cast a yes for all of the members present. Mr. Butita.
Okay, next we have an ordinance for a budget amendment of the ARP revenue replacement funds, and I move for suspension of the rules.
We have a motion to suspend by Mr. Butita, second by Mr. Sweeney. Are there any objections to the suspension of rules this evening by any board member? Very good. The rules are suspended, Mr. Butita.
I move for the passage of the ordinance for a budget amendment for ARP replacement revenue.
Motion by Mr. Butita, second by Mr. Guevara. Is there any discussion on this ordinance this evening? Yes. Ms. Gorel.
Sure. This is a moving of $8.46 million from ARP funds to the general revenue fund, which was allowed as part of the rules of the ARP funding. And the purpose of that is to just to escape having to have a deadline on those funds. Those funds will still be designated for the ARP project, specifically the PSB building. So it's just a matter of moving from one account to another.
Any other questions concerning this ordinance? Are there any board members opposed to the passage of this ordinance? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr.
Okay, that's
Butita.
all we have this evening, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Butita. So I see that Ms. Hill is present. I'm going to allow Ms. Hill to come and speak for 3 minutes, if you don't mind. I'm going to read a quick statement in here. The comment shall be limited to 3 minutes. Speakers may not address zoning matters which are pending before the ZBA, zoning committee, or the county board. Personnel matters or pending or threatened litigation may not be addressed in open session. An individual may speak a maximum of 3 minutes, 3 times per calendar year on the same topic. This prohibition shall include the repetition of the same topic in a statement on what is purported to be a different topic. Personal attacks or inappropriate language of any sort will not be tolerated. Ms. Hill?
Good evening. I'm Teresa Hill, and I'm here to represent the League of Women Voters of Greater Rockford. I'm speaking on behalf, the League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan organization which promotes voter engagement and democracy. I direct my remarks to the proposal migrant resolution submitted by the Operations Committee. The League of Women Voters of Greater Rockford strongly opposes this resolution, which restricts use of county funds to assist individuals in our community. Our opposition is based on our positions long held by our nonpartisan organization, which was founded over 100 years ago. The League of Women Voters of the U.S. position on immigration contains 3 elements. 1, we believe all persons should receive fair treatment under the law. Number 2, we believe that all individuals are entitled to humane treatment and the provision of food, housing, and emergency health care are basic human needs, and that our federal government has primary responsibility for ensuring those needs are met. Number 3, the League believes in federal immigration law that provides an efficient and expeditious system that for legal entry of immigrants into the United States. We are concerned about the lumping in current county residents with the resolution's board definition of migrants. We have many county residents who are here legally as migrants and refugees, Migrants have settled in Winnebago County for the last few years, paying taxes in some respect. We are concerned that this resolution does not reflect our shared value for compassionate response to people, including children in need of basic necessities like water, food, and weather-appropriate clothing, even if they are only passing through our county. Yes, we believe the food, housing, and emergency health care are basic human needs, that our federal government has primary responsibility for ensuring those needs are met, and that other government entities should take secondary responsibility. But gaps in the processes with government agencies and/or a failure of our immigration system to be efficient does not absolve us of our responsibility to ensure that people's basic human needs are met. Humans with the same needs as you and I. Please consider the following alternatives. 1, work with our faith communities and local businesses to solicit support for temporary housing and food if necessary. 2, meet with our representatives in Springfield and Washington to discuss other solutions and additional state resources. Number 3, contact the state and federal governments and apply for funds that are currently available to assist recent arrivals to our country. We respectfully request that you gather community leaders for further discussion and input and take no action on this resolution at this time.
Ms.
Thank
Hill,
you.
your time has expired.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Webster. Zoning Committee.
Thank you. Your zoning committee tonight has 3 items for us. We have Z0124. It's a map amendment that is in County Board District 9. This came with recommendation of approval 6-1 by ZBA and 5-0 by the zoning committee. This is in for a first reading for layover. The next 2 are associated with one another. Z0224 is a map amendment, and this is in County Board District 2. This came with a recommendation of 7-zip from ZBA and 5-zip from Zoning Committee for approval. The companion piece to that is on your sheet there, number 3, SU0124. That's a special use permit for a small automotive vehicle service and repair shop. This came from Zoning Board of Appeals, 7-0, and from Zoning Committee, 5-0. So that's in for the first reading, but I would like to make a motion to suspend on those 2 items, item 2 and item 3.
Motion to suspend on item 2 and item 3. There's a second by Mr. Guevara. Are there any board members opposed to the suspension of rules this evening? Very good. The rules are suspended.
Thank you. And now I would move for approval then on item 2 and item 3.
Motion by Mr. Webster to approve item 2 and 3, a second by Ms. Crosby. Is there any discussion on either of those items for these map amendments and a special use permit? Very good. Ms. Gorel.
Yeah, I think Angie's reminding me to remind all of us and myself that there are conditions attached to number 3, SU0124. Generally on special uses, we do have some conditions. This one does as well. Thank you, Angie, for reminding me that.
Thank you. Any other discussion on either item number 2 or item number 3? Very good. Are there any board members opposed to the passage of the map amendment or the special use of permit? Very good. Please cast yes for all members present. Mr. Webster.
Thank you. The Zoning Board of Appeals next meeting is Wednesday, March 13th. And then we follow up with the Zoning Committee meeting Wednesday, March 27th. Thank you.
Very good.
Thanks
Thank you,
again,
Mr.
Angie.
Thanks, Mr. Webster. Economic Development Committee, Mr. Sweeney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have no report tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. Next is Operation Administrative Committee, Mr. McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have 2 items this evening. The first is a resolution awarding chiller rebuild at Criminal Justice Center using CIP 2023 PSST funds, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. McDonald. We have a second by Ms. Hansard. Is there any discussion, Mr. McDonald? Any board member discussion on this resolution? Very good. Are there any board members opposed to the approval of this resolution? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr. McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The next item is a resolution awarding replace UPS/batteries at Criminal Justice Center using CIP 2021 funds, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. McDonald, second by Mr. McCarthy. Any discussion, Mr. McDonald?
No, sir.
Discussion from board members on this resolution? Seeing none, are there any board members opposed to the approval of this resolution? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr. McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes the report.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Next is the Public Works Committee by Mr. Dave Tassoni.
Thank you, Chairman. Public Works Committee brings forth two items this evening up for passages. First is Resolution 24-005, and it's a resolution authorizing the award of bid for Latham Road resurfacing, and I would so move.
Moved by Mr. Tassoni, second by Mr. Huffman. Is there any discussion, Mr. Tassoni?
None, unless there's questions.
Any board member discussion on this resolution? Very good. Are there any board members opposed to the approval of this resolution? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr. Tassoni.
Thank you, Chairman. Next resolution is Resolution 24-004, and it's a resolution authorizing the award of bid for elevator road resurfacing and for appropriating RBI funds, and I would so move.
Moved by Mr. Tassoni, second by Mr. Guevara. Is there any discussion? No discussion. Are there any board members opposed to this resolution? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr. Tassoni.
Thank you, Chairman. That concludes the report.
Thank you, Mr. Tassoni. Next, Public Safety and Judiciary Committee. Mr. Booker.
Thank you, Chairman. The Public Safety and Judiciary Committee brings forward a resolution, just one resolution tonight, and it's a resolution authorizing the execution of a memorandum of understanding between the County of Winnebago, Illinois, and the City of Rockford, Illinois, for 2021 through 2027 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program Award. And I so move.
Moved by Mr. Booker. We have a second by Mr. Guevara. Is there any discussion, Mr. Booker?
Just a little bit. Thank you, Chairman. A little background on it. In 2016, the Winnebago County Board approved 2016 CR 180, resolution authorizing the issuance of purchase orders for the acquisition of network infrastructure services and radio equipment such as Starcom radio systems. The project, it seems that it expired or it lapsed. Credit to Marlena Duckin for bringing this forward, bringing it, this memorandum of understanding forward to get an understanding on it. And it's where the City of Rockford gets a grant for the radios, and they're sharing 40% of their grant with Winnebago County for the Starcom radios. It was recommended by the Sheriff's Chief Deputy, Saganek. It has been reviewed by the State's Attorney's Office, and follow up on it, the Chairman's Office of Criminal Justice Initiatives will follow up with memorandum of understanding signatures invoicing the City of Rockford for fiscal year 2021 through 2023 reimbursement. That's all I have so far. I know that was a lot there,
Thanks.
but it passed unanimously in committee.
Thank you, Mr. Booker. Is there any board member discussion on this resolution? Hearing none, are there any board members opposed to the passage of this resolution? Very good. Please cast a yes for all members present. Mr. Booker.
Thank you, Chairman. That concludes the report.
Thank you. Good work, Director Dockin. All right. Moving on here, we've got unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business in front of the board this evening? Bring up? None. New business. Is there any new business? Mr. Sweeney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a resolution to submit to Mr. Salgado's legislative lobbying committee, and we did speak about it ahead of time, and I appreciate him agreeing to get it on the docket for a a vote and a hearing, but it's a resolution in support of the Regional Office of Education Alternative Education Program submitted to his committee.
Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. We got that. Any other new business in front of the board this evening? Very good. Announcements and communications, Clerk Gummow.
Thank you, Chairman. The items listed below were received as correspondence.
Very good. Any announcements from board members, staff members? Mr. Penny.
I do want to acknowledge some residents that have been reaching out about concerns they've had with loose animals in District 9. And as I've talked to several, if anybody's watching this, I can assure you that we have started working on some precautionary measures to hopefully address this in the future. And thank you to the residents that have reached out with the concerns that they've been voicing. We are hearing it and we're working on it.
Thank you, Mr. Penny. Any other announcements, communications for board members? I know Mr. Webster is anxious. We got a motion by Mr. Webster, second by Mr. Thompson. All in favor, say aye. Aye.